Hi, this is Michael. I'm going to talk about the shop for Jesus Rules Ministry. It's how we raise our finances to support an outreach to give away a scripture guide book, and also to do clinics for kids that we're in the process of finalizing. Our specialty is longboard, LDP slash enduro, well, Freeride. I'm a freerider, and I wanted to, out of necessity, I was looking for a board, a deck that could cover two disciplines I like to do. I like to slide around down the streets, but I also like to run distance, and as I let people ride my boards and I saw an interest there, that's how the really the company, well, not company, this aspect of the ministry evolved to be able to raise money to help support it. I'm going to show you what we really do. It's kind of like a longboard deck hot rod shop, and we're not, there's another kind of modification I do to popsicle boards, skate and street boards, and I'll talk about that later. But this is a board. I have a lot of different fabricators that I'm able to get some awesome product from. I look for Canadian hard rock maple, and because of all the hundreds of boards I've tested and the feedback that I've received from our riders who've helped me kind of see what works good for, you can say, an enduro board, kind of like motorcycles, how there's a certain genre to be able to hit the trails as well as get right back on the street. And with the same kind of that, metaphorically speaking, the decks that I customize, it's to be able to do a distance at a good ride height, but still not be so low that it can't free ride and be able to slide and do brake checks. So this is a 9-ply Canadian hard rock maple deck that I purchased, and there's certain boundaries I look for because, like I said, of the testing we've done. And I'm going to show you what we've changed in this board on the next deck I'm picking up. But I'll briefly explain with I've put dropouts in this board, the duplicate of this board. We've cut out the wheel wells to be able to accommodate some bigger wheels. I just trimmed the size up a little bit. If I was, for me personally, I'd probably narrow the board down another inch, just because I'm a size 11 foot, or some of the bigger feet riders would prefer the wider 10-inch. I look for boards that have not too aggressive of a drop, because it's also being used for free ride. When the board drops with a kind of a straight, steep drop, then it's hard to put it kind of forces your foot in one spot when you're going up a driveway. And the other benefit of having a mellow, mild transition here is the fact that I like to run my feet up far close to the trucks. It gives me more control. And so let me pick up this other board right here, which is the exact same board, but after the modification, you can see the drop through. And another aspect of the board is that I changed wheelbases, and you can see the cutouts here, obviously the drop through, and the wheelbase was changed as well, and then a little bit of trimming on the side. Well, it would be now I want to mention too that it's not, if you don't do both disciplines and you are just a beginner, it's really about ride height is always going to help you progress faster. I know one of my favorite boards was this style right over here, which was a drop through, and I still really enjoy riding this board when I'm just to change it up from my top mount. But you have to decide the terrain you're going to ride on it, the amount of experience you have, then you got your weight and your height, and if you're an aggressive skater, if you just want to cruise the board, because all the factors need to work together. If you were just going to do LDP, then you're probably going to run bigger wheels, so you need more clearance. And certain boards like this one, if I put some big wheels on, there's just no way to get around bringing it low to the ground other than raising the trucks, which I'll show you. Here's a Sector 9 board. It was a nice 9-ply deck, and I saw that I could do a dropout on it. But what I was just talking about, raising the trucks, it's just a little thing that can add a lot of performance by bringing the deck lower. It makes it more comfortable to ride. We've wedged these trucks, and there's all kinds of variables, because you can set a board up for also to be not just a push board, but a pump. That's where you kind of you surf skate the board. And we're presently testing a lot of different trucks to see what works best. But just setting up the bushings a little softer in the front can greatly improve not having to take your feet all the way off the board when you're doing a lot of miles. When you get kind of a slow grade section, you can just pump the board, and it's a lot of fun to do, to surf skate. Well, I'm trying to keep this video short. It's going to be important to mention that not only do I sell new decks that I've shot for and modified with all different sizes for the different, the vast variances in people's abilities and how tall they are and the weight and such. I also modify other people's boards. And talking about modifying other people's boards, for a relatively low cost, you can modify like a park board by turning them into a schlong board. This is, a popsicle deck. It's a big one. It's got a nice 21-inch wheelbase. But you change the truck position to the nose and tail, and with traditional kingpins and some little bit lighter bushings, you can turn this into a really nice street flatland racer, long distance pusher. And here's a Madrid board that was fabricated with that exact concept in mind. And this one's came from Madrid with the drop through, but that's another modification we can make to people's boards, is we can turn them into schlong boards. We can, depending on how low the board we want, we can make it into a drop through after we decide, what would be the best wheelbase for your individual size. And I want to mention that we try to share our knowledge. This is a ministry that serves the Lord. So even though there's certain aspects that we do to raise money, we would gladly share, our experience and our advice. So you're welcome to contact me for those things. We have an inventory of a lot of different wheels, and we offer like a demo clinic where you can try all different style boards if you're not sure what works for you, like a drop through, a double drop, a top mount. I can't help but share one of my favorite boards right here is this Stuka. It's a nice top mount with a micro drop, and the trucks recess into the deck. And so it's really kind of sad when you ride your friend's board and then you think you're stuck with your ride, and with the cost being what it is to get a nice deck. We're trying to offer a service that we can modify your deck, or before you actually spend a lot of money, you can, for a small fee. We have a lot of different style trucks, from Ronins to Rogues to Paris V2s to Charger 2s, Bears, 5th gens. The list goes on, but the fee that we're going to charge for that can be all applied to modifying your deck, or buying one of our new modified. Okay, so other than being able to do the demo clinic and sharing a little bit of how we customize, showing our specialty, I'm going to check here on my cheat sheet right here, and I'm going to try to finish up by just saying I'm also the organizer of San Diego Skateboard Longboard Race Club. On a weekly basis, we're getting together. So if you need a few tips on how to do distance, you can contact me and I can show up before the meetup starts. Or if you just want me to look at your board and bring a tape and talk to you about, it's likely that I might have already ridden that board, but if not, I can just tell by its shape and design and the wheelbase and your style what I would personally recommend, and that it doesn't cost you anything. And if you are relatively good with your hands, there's a shop in San Diego. I forgot the name right now. It's on my phone. But for a fee, you can use all their tools, and you can make modifications yourself. So if I can help you in that way, I would feel privileged to do that. Okay. Really, the last bit of my contact information is get a hold of me either on Facebook, JesusRulesMinistry.com, or I'm the organizer of San Diego Skateboard Longboard Club, and I think that's about it. All right, thanks for stopping in. I hope this was informative in some way. And if you have any questions, feel free to call. Thank you.